Hi, this is Kane Hodder, better known as Jason from Friday the 13th, Victor Crowley from Hatchet. You are listening to Midnight at the Monster Museum. Keep listening, or I'll kill you.
Guys, it's episode 9, Midnight at the Monster Museum. I'm Tom Devlin, and this is Jeff, and there's a whole mess of other people here. The reason that there's a mess of other people is because we are on set. We're working on Full Moon Features, HALLOWEED night, Meet the Weedjies. And this is a Ghoulies-type puppet project. It is being produced by Charles Band, directed by Danny Draven. We're doing a crazy week-long shoot at this awesome hotel in Las Vegas called The Artisan, and so far it's been filled with rubber monsters and awesomeness. Jeff has had his hands filled with goo and slime and doing remote control eyeball stuff. What's your favorite thing so far, Jeff, that you've seen?
I think so far it was the last shot that we did, the cake stuff. That was a lot of fun. Seeing you down there on your back with your hand up the box, and Waleed on one side, our producer, who's right next to us, right, Waleed?
Howdy.
And me on the other side, and
Waleed can puppeteer the hell out of a cake box.
Oh yeah, I'll puppet anything.
And so we had the little ghoulie guy. He creeps through a cake box, and some innocent bystanders find him, and they open that lid, and they just say, like, oh shit, this guy's eating all our food. Let's give him some.
Yeah, they give him a doobie.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool because we just had the head in there munching away on the cake, and I got covered. It was like pooping cake on my face while I was underneath that box. It was disgusting. The cake was filled with like a raspberry jelly, and it was just like blobbing on me the whole time.
It took a handful and ate it just before that, though.
I know, but that was before I got doused in it the whole time. But yesterday we had Weed Wolf in. He's like a little werewolf character. You can see some.
The Don.
Yeah, he's played by the Don. That's a guy I've done creature makeup for. Killed him in 7 different films. What an awesome performer. And then our other puppets, we're doing some second unit. We're gonna walk around and talk to some of the people here, but I just want to give you guys a heads up. This movie is part of a thing called the Deadly 10. If you guys are enjoying the podcast, you might be interested. If you go to deadly10.com, you can watch all of us. We're making this movie live. They have a live stream, and you can sign on there on deadly10.com. It doesn't cost anything, and you can watch the live stream of us doing movie magic, which is kind of boring.
Particularly this one, because I mean it's been a long time since I think somebody's made a movie like this. You know, old school rubber puppets and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is the cool thing about this is we have Billy Butler on set, and he's doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Billy Butler was involved with the original, with Ghoulies 2 and a lot. I mean, a plethora of rubber monster movies. So it's really cool to get his feedback on what we're doing. Yesterday, Billy actually said that our Weedjies were cooler than Ghoulies, and that's a pretty high bill to meet. But before we are done with this break, I want to walk around and talk to some of the other folks here and see what they have to say about the filmmaking.
Over here quick, because they're getting up.
Hey guys, come here, Danielle. Come on over here. So we're doing our podcast live here from Halloween night. right? So you guys are all part of Midnight at the Monster Museum. And so at this table we have Courtney, who's our costume designer, and she's done a fabulous job. And we also have the rest of the 1313 Effects crew here. We have Miranda.
Hi.
And we have Danielle.
Good evening.
And we have Robert.
Yo.
And so this is the thing. What is your guys' favorite stuff that's gone on so far? You guys have been doing a lot of makeup. We're doing puppets. But out of all the shenanigans, what's your favorite thing that you've seen out here?
This is really sad, but definitely hot dog and bunny.
We have two guys who are a couple, and they are dressed as a hot dog bun and a wiener, hot dog wiener, and they play off each other super well. So what about you?
I just love the Weedjies themselves. Like, they're my favorite thing I think I've ever seen you make.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Robert?
I agree. I think the Weedjies are the coolest part.
What's your favorite thing you've done with those Weedjies so far?
I got to bite off the wiener's wiener with one of the Weedjies. I got to jump off a bar and latch onto the guy's junk, and I got to say that's my favorite part.
That's awesome. And with that, we're going to move to the next table over here. Over here we have our second unit team. This is director John Lachago. John has directed several movies that I've been involved with. We've done some of my favorite work, which would be the Killjoy series. We did Bio Slime. We've been through the trenches together inside and out. He's helped me make films. I've helped him make films. And we were even on national television on a documentary once together with Rob Zombie. So that happened.
No, you were.
You were too. You were shooting the fight scene with Alan Ty.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yes, and you were like, oh, here, there, actually, oh God, that's great. And we were out in the desert. Yeah, so you were on G4 Network like 10 years ago. So that's something that really happened. But John, what do you think of this crazy movie we're doing?
This crazy movie is going to be fantastic because we have rubber monsters being puppeted and just more crazy mayhem by little creatures.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It's looking great, the footage.
What's your favorite thing you've shot so far?
I have to say I'm blown away by Motor Breath. I'm really, like, the others are so really cool and excellent, but Motor Breath has a life of its own. It's like Lemmy is kind of like possessing that puppet. Everything is.
That's awesome. Yeah, Motor Breath is a heavy metal puppet that we created based upon Lemmy. It also has some characteristics of John Beekler in there that I added a larger forehead and puffy cheeks, and so it's kind of a neat thing. I'm going to move to the next table, but we're just doing our live feed here, so thanks for being a part of it, guys. Over here, we're moving over to our art department. So this is our art department over here. We have Shay, and we have Heidi, who's our department head. Heidi Moore, who's also a local filmmaker who makes badass horror films. What have you done before, Heidi?
I've directed Dolly Deadly, Kill Dolly Kill. I directed a documentary called More Blood. Lots of things.
So anybody who's listening to this podcast would love every one of these projects because we're a horror-based podcast. So awesome. How did you get involved with this movie, and were you a fan of Full Moon stuff beforehand?
Oh yeah, I've been a fan of Full Moon. When I was little, I would rent demonic toys every time a friend would spend the night. And I got involved in here just because I knew a few people who were involved or knew someone who was involved, and then they needed a production designer, and here I am.
So what is your favorite thing that you've been involved with here so far?
Actually, my favorite thing is something we just shot with a little puppet eating cake.
You know, the cake has come up a couple times. I think people are still on a cake sugar high from seeing it shoot, but it was fun to have that.
And you still have some on your face, actually.
Yeah, I bet it's all over me, actually. But look at all that orange. But we may have to recreate that cake, and we're going to shoot some more inserts down the road, I think. But I think that that was a brilliant solve to put the head in the box and just devour that stuff. What are you looking at? Are we not recording?
No, we are.
Okay, good. We are recording, guys, so you're all hearing this. I'm going to move to the next table. You guys are doing a fabulous job. Thank you. All right, so we're going to move in here. We're going to the bar area, and we are going to find the man himself, Charles Band. So this is Charlie Band and Dave Dakota.
Yeah, together.
And they're at the bar, and you're on my podcast live. This is Midnight at the Monster Museum.
Where's the video camera?
We don't do that. We only do audio because we're real cheap.
Audio?
Yeah.
Audio? Oh, okay.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've talked about the Deadly 10 on the podcast for months now, and we tell everybody to tune in and listen and watch and see us live stream it. But how's the live streaming going?
It's going great. We have some thousands of people already watching what we're doing here. No one's ever done it before. I mean, people stream little moments here and there, but this is 2 cameras for the entire shoot day. So if we're shooting 12 hours, it's 12 hours of live streaming. 2 different cameras, 2 different angles. One follows mainly what we do on set. The other one is sort of a roaming camera.
For shenanigans.
You know, shenanigans, puppets, hopefully catching people half naked.
Yeah.
Especially the right people.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's a new thing, and people are really digging it. We're here on set, and obviously a different perspective, but we're getting tweets and posts, people saying it's addictive, that they turn the thing on
And they can't look
and they
away.
cannot turn it off.
I know my wife was watching yesterday, which is kind of crazy because I'm gone all day, and she's like, "Oh, so she was cued into what I did all day."
Let's put it this way: in the old days, you could get away with a lot on a movie set. You go home and tell your girlfriend everything's awesome. No, it's a little more different now. Now they can check out what the fuck you're doing. Now it's like, okay, wait a minute.
So it is deadly. It's the Deadly 10.
That's if you've been married 10 times. That's a bummer and a half. But
so what is what with the monsters and stuff? What is your favorite thing you've seen so far?
Could you just keep that for me? Thanks. I'm sorry.
What is your favorite thing you've seen on set so far?
Tom Devlin working the monsters with your hand right up that ass of each of those fucking Weedjies.
Okay, I'll take that. That's fair.
That's it.
Cool. Dave, are you gonna partake in the shooting? Are you gonna cameo in this one?
Yes, I'm gonna cameo tomorrow when the Freak Show arrives. I'm part of the Freak Show, so it's gonna be a hoot, and everybody has to tune in because tomorrow you're not gonna believe your eyes when you see what we're gonna be live streaming.
There's nothing that if you're sort of a depraved weirdo human and you love the genre, there's nothing that you will lack in tomorrow's viewing. Now, when does this podcast go up?
Right now. So yes, we can.
Let me explain to all you dudes listening, poor guys who can't see anything because it's a fucking podcast. But let me explain that you got to go to deadly10.com. Okay. And
Not Deadly 10.
No, it's deadly10.com.
Spelled out all letters.
T-E-N. You sign up. It's free. Now, here's the key word I'm going to say it 3 times. Free. Doesn't cost a fucking dime. So you sign up, you're there, and you can watch us shoot this movie. I mean, how cool is that? People have asked, why am I doing this? I don't know. It's like a lot of effort, expense, but, bring people into the family.
Well, you've always kind of broke the boundaries with behind the scenes.
Yes.
I mean, you started with the Video Zone before there was DVD extras.
That is all true.
You've put out your own magazines. That's kind of a way people learn how to make movies.
Yeah,
and now they can actually watch
Look, they can see how we do it, and then they'll say, this business sucks, man.
It's hard.
It's terrible. I'm not
Those guys are sweating. That guy that was there the first day is not there now. What happened?
Good talking to you, and you
Awesome.
have great activities and museums and dinosaurs and Vegas and
Thank you.
putas. But that's not true. That part is I'm just saying.
One last bonus feature.
Yes.
Can you just say, this is Charles Band, you're listening to Midnight at the Monster Museum?
It's a lot of words. This is Charles Band. You're listening to Midnight at the Monster Museum.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Charlie. We will cut that out later and stick it in all kinds of other stuff. All right. So now we're going to go find Jeff again. I don't know where he is. Hey, this is Lindsay. This is our AC. Hey, Lindsay. We're doing a live podcast. It's called Midnight at the Monster Museum. What's your favorite thing you've seen on set?
My favorite thing I've seen on set has definitely been all the Weedjies, man.
Oh man, they're popular. I don't know if it's because I'm asking the questions, but that's all anybody's saying.
No, definitely. Well, we haven't had like a lot of like the pretty girls and stuff yet, so it's definitely the Weedjies so far. And watching you grease them all up and everything, that's a lot of fun. The sound effects, the corresponding sound effects, it's a great time.
Yeah, no, they gargle and snort. They don't really talk, and I think that's the way a rubber monster should be.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
We don't lose them.
And eating the cake, that was a good time. It was really believable.
Awesome.
They got a fun way to eat cake.
Very cool. Well, we're going to move on. We're looking for our co-host Jeff, who disappeared. He's probably taking a nap somewhere. But
right.
awesome. Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna walk back into the effects room and see maybe they're actually working. Who has any idea what is going on here? But oh, there they are. And oh my God, he is working. Jeff's in here working. He's like, well, I guess I'll start cleaning cake off this rubber head.
It needs to be done.
Needs to be done. So this shoot is a 1 week shoot, and we are shooting a massive amount of stuff. And for those of you guys that listen to us regularly, we always talk about the shortcomings and the
Time is a
pros and cons of movies that we review all the time. But when you're in it and you're doing it, and you start to understand, like, sometimes I'm a lot more lenient on a low budget bullshit picture like Return to Swamp Thing, because I understand what it took to get it done. And what we're doing here is the impossible, and I'm not even blowing smoke. This is like, we are making a movie that in 1987 would have taken a month and a half, and they would have spent $2 million on it. And we're doing it for under $50,000 at 6 days. And that's absolutely insane. Now, of course, we don't have to reload film. Things move a lot faster now. Digital lighting is a lot faster.
We have less time to fuck around to get shit done because
it's true.
There's no downtime for.
And also the film quality, the digital that we're shooting on is so much higher caliber than it ever was back then. That it, when you watch a 35 millimeter print, there's a certain sheen that is there that we don't have anymore. It's been lost. So basically we have to, make everything look as good as possible. They're going to shoot it in ultra high definition, and we only have 5 minutes and $2 to do it. So we are doing the best we humanly can. And with that being said, I think that we're making something that's pretty good. What do you rate this experience on Hypnoswirls?
Pretty high. I actually had texted Jamie earlier and said that I'm really proud of what we've been doing so far.
It's fun, huh? This is a fun one. It's been a while since I've had my head in the right space to have fun with this. And I don't know, the podcast, the Monster Museum, the camaraderie, there's something that has brought my love of horror films back. And I've worked for Full Moon now for over 10 years, but this is a really fun one. Nobody's phoning it in. I feel like.
No, but it's been the most gratifying.
The cool thing about saying you got a long way to go on a 6-day shoot on day number 2 is we're actually already a quarter of the way done. Yeah. So we don't have as far to go as on some.
That is true.
We will be doing pickup shots and things in the shop down the road. Where I know Danny wants to do inserts. The director, Danny Draven, I wish I could find him. He disappears into a corner somewhere. But I'd love to go.
We can go hunt him down.
Let's see if we can find him. Let's see if we can find Danny.
Let's get him.
So,
let's see if it's still recording.
we are shooting in this crazy old building. Hey, bro. Do you know where Danny is?
In his room.
Oh, his hotel room.
Yeah, his hotel room.
We're not going to track Danny down then. Maybe we'll bump into him because I'm not going to go knock on his door during his break. Hey guys, you guys are our cast, our stars, our leads. We're doing a live podcast.
Oh, cool.
It's called Midnight at the Monster Museum. We do it every week, and it usually goes up Wednesdays at midnight. So what do you guys think? Is this all of your first full moon experience? Introduce yourself, tell the character you're playing, and let me know what you think.
Yeah, this is Johnny Lee. I'm playing Claude. This is my first Full Moon production, and it's great.
Were you familiar with Full Moon before you got involved?
I was, but I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I didn't know who they were, but a couple of the titles I did know.
Okay.
So,
yeah, awesome. So what's your favorite thing you've done so far or seen?
With Full Moon, me in the vampire costume and makeup was
awesome.
Quite exciting.
Yeah, yesterday was fun.
Yeah,
that was
it was a
time.
good day.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Brett. Are we doing full names?
Do it.
Hi, my name is Brett Hargrave, and I play Madison. This is my first experience.
Were you familiar with Full Moon before this?
No, but I recognized the names.
Okay.
And the best part was probably like just running into like this looped up puppet yesterday.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. It actually kind of freaked you out the first time.
Oh, it was fully terrifying every time, but it was great.
That's awesome. She got attacked by one of our Weedjies called Goblin, who was a slimy snake character, and it was pretty funny. That was good. That was good.
Just the usual Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Emily Jobson. I played Dallas in the film. This is also my first Full Moon feature production, but I am familiar with you guys because of Gary Busey in The Gingerbread Man.
Ginger Dead Man.
Ginger Dead Man, my bad. Yeah. So I recognized you from that when I first went through auditions. My dad pointed it out too. But yeah, it's been great. I love being here. It's really fun.
That's awesome. Awesome. And of all your experiences yesterday and today, you guys haven't worked a ton today yet, have you?
No,
not at all.
Right, so just sitting around and hanging out. But what was your favorite thing that you've kind of seen thus far?
My favorite part of yesterday was seeing my costume because I play a vampire, and to see the corset and the whole 9 yards is very on brand for my actual personality. So I was really living.
Courtney did great. She's awesome with the costumes. Always.
Even the skirt, her sister made it like handmade, and it's just fabulous. I want to keep it so bad.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And how about you?
Hi, I'm Yo Ying. I play Frankie. Yeah, I did hear about Full Moons before because my friend Jack Plotnick was in one of them.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you heard of him. It was in some other movie by Full Moons.
Yes, I may have worked on that movie actually.
He's like, he's super cool.
Yeah.
So I did hear of it.
Awesome. And so far, what's your favorite thing going on?
I think it's when it didn't happen yet, but my favorite part is when people pull off pieces of paper off my mummy costume for joint rolling paper or something. I think that's hilarious.
That's pretty funny. Awesome. Well, guys, have fun making the movie. It was great talking to you, and I'll get to kill you or slime you or beat you up with a puppet later. So we'll be around. Hey, man, I'm doing a live podcast. Why don't you introduce yourself and give a little plug?
Hi, I'm Chad Ridgely. You may have recognized me in, I don't know, let's say Massacre on Aisle 12 or 6:66 p.m. or in Quentin Tarantino's upcoming Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I play the gorilla in HALLOWEED Night Meet the Weedjies. And let me tell you something, these Weedjies are some sexy beasts. There's nothing... Well, there's one or two I might have taken a shot at, but let me tell you, I'm having so much fun in this film, seriously. It's a great movie. I've read the script, I laughed out loud. I'm a professional comedian, so it's harder to make me laugh, in my opinion.
That's awesome.
But I had some real laugh out loud moments, so I'm excited to be doing this.
Very cool, very cool. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
All righty. Hey, Bobby. So let's talk about, do you see Danny Draven anywhere? Oh my God, it's Billy Butler, and he just got on the phone, so we can't talk to him yet. But we do a live we're doing a podcast.
Let me call you back.
So.
Let me call you right back. Is it live right now?
Yeah, well, it is live right now in like 10 minutes after it's done being recorded.
In case I curse, and you have to.
We're not editing anything, so
okay.
So yeah, it's kind of, and you can curse. It's okay. We're an adult
very clear?
podcast.
Is that microphone very clear?
It's pretty clear. We do this every week. So basically, it's called Midnight at the Monster Museum, and it's about rubber monsters. And on what episode did we do Ghoulies 2? 4? We did.
No, 4 was...
Or 2. It was maybe episode 2.
Episode 2.
We did Ghoulies 2 as our flashback feature, and we talked about Billy Butler being the one guy who was killed by Freddy, Jason, and Leatherface.
Thank you.
And also Ghoulies, and he was also
Night of Living Dead Zombies.
Of course, and so it's cool to have you on the show, and I'm glad that I just came upon you and didn't ask you to be on the show.
That's all right. For you, I would do anything. You're very interesting.
Oh, awesome.
Talented.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so for podcast land out there, this is Billy Butler. He's been an actor, director, effects hand. He's had his hands in the film industry forever.
Yes.
What are some of the projects that you remember with Charlie that you would love to talk about?
Well, the very first one, which was Eliminators in like 1985, around then, I went to Spain to work for him. We were supposed to be for 3 weeks, and we ended up being there for 3 months.
That's crazy.
And it was amazing. And then directly after that, he's like, hey, dude, you want to go to Rome and work on a movie? And I went to Rome, and then I ended up living in Rome for 5 years, working for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was great. We did From Beyond, we did The Caller, we did Ghoulies 2, we did Robojocks, Arena, many films, and it was the greatest time of my life.
Now, being on Weedjies we've compared this to Ghoulies several times, coming through. And on the podcast, we've talked about it. On the Deadly 10, we talk about it. Like, I never got to work on a Ghoulies film. This is the closest thing that I've done. But being that you were involved with the real Ghoulies, how do you feel about the whole process so far, what we're doing?
Well, for one, I wanted to say a compliment to you, seriously, because you made these creatures look really, really good. Normally, in the past, on some of these things, I haven't been too impressed by, in the last 20 years, it comes and goes depending on who's building the monsters. And so I didn't really pay much attention to what they look like. I saw the drawings. But I can't believe you really did a really, really terrific job. Like, the fans, the hardcore Full Moon fans are going to really love this because they're very articulate, and you did a great job with the necks and the hands and the...
Well, I appreciate that. That's awesome.
My experience on that front is that it is very ghoulie-like. This whole live streaming thing is absolutely insane. I'm not sure I am a fan of it.
But you're kind of in charge of it.
I'm in charge of it, and I'm hating every minute of it. But we're doing it, and we have thousands of viewers. So it seems Charlie is the P.T. Barnum of filmmaking. So,
he really is.
So he really knows what the fans want and what's to keep things fresh and interesting. And I can't let the fact that I'm old and tired get in the way of his vision. Living the dream. Yeah. So we'll keep doing it.
That's pretty awesome. And you are planning on directing one of the Deadly 10.
Yes, I'm supposed to direct The Grim Rapper in September. But you never know. Things are getting slid around, so I don't know how soon it will be.
Right.
And I hope that you will be the guy to make the Grim Rapper.
Oh man, that'd be. I actually heard about the Grim Rapper about 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
We're gonna do it.
Right before Trophy Heads, we were talking about doing Grim Rapper.
Yeah.
And it just never came to be. So I didn't know. And then when it popped back up, I was like, oh look, it's that.
Yeah.
So that's
I rewrote it. I mean, it's the same story. I rewrote it with a little bit of an 80s spin on it.
Cool.
So we're going to kind of try to do a sort of Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, 80s vibe to it.
That's cool.
Yeah, where the guy's kind of, the rapper is kind of like a Freddy Krueger guy. Not wisecracking, but kind of always appearing.
But a horror icon.
Yeah. So it could be really good,
That sounds awesome.
I'm surprised at the work that we're doing here. Everything's, for as fast as the schedule is, it's turning out really good.
And my whole crew, we were just talking in the other room that, like, I've done a lot of these movies. And there's been a lot that have been like, well, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And this is not. This is what it can be scenario, and trying to elevate it a little bit.
Full Moon is really, really making a huge comeback right now with this whole Amazon Prime deal, and we're going to be out on many other platforms. It's going to be absolutely an incredible year for the company. I'm very happy to be helping Charlie again. And, you know, I've worked for him for 35 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on a lot of the stuff that you were stuck in Rome for 5 years making.
Yeah.
You know, and
very happily.
Were you part of Oblivion and all that stuff?
No, by then I was acting.
Oh, okay.
So I think my last film for Charlie doing effects or coordinating was Prison.
Oh man.
And then I was acting full time, and I was like, no more breathing chemicals, no more for a while. And then I actually got kind of sick of acting after about 13 years of that, and I started writing and producing.
Well, guys, we just got back from lunch, so I'm going to have to cut this one, and we didn't get to director Danny Draven, but we'll bring him out on the podcast later on because he lives about literally 4 miles from the Monster Museum. He's a frequent there. We sell his books. We will talk to him as soon as we can get a hold of him, but until we speak again, nighttime is the fright time. I'm Tom, Jeff is somewhere, and that's producer Waleed over there, and we are out.
Fun. Thank you for having me.